This patch of snow, the Sphinx so-called, only melted 3 times in the 20th century, remarkably. But what we're going to see this year, 2024, is going to melt for the 4th consecutive year. And that, for me, is a real indicator of what the wider climate is doing. Things are changing. My name is Iain Cameron and I am a snowpatch researcher. Today heading for Braeriach, which is in the heart of the Cairngorms, looking for the last patch of snow in the Cairngorms. So the journey is split into 3 distinct stages. First is a cycle up Glacier, which is about 6 miles.
You just got to tough it out.
Yeah.
You know, there's no harm in getting wet as long as you're not cold.
That will take us to the foot of the climb, the slopes of Braeriach, and from Braeriach that slope goes up pretty steeply up to just over 4,000 foot or 1,220 metres.
Well, we're making pretty good progress. No real signs yet of the improvement in the weather.
And we'll walk across the plateau and then drop in quite a steep gully on the other side. Well, we're now on the Braeriach plateau, so we're just about 1,200 metres or 4,000 foot if you prefer old money. The walk up was pretty arduous, especially with the heavy packs. Climb is pathless, quite boggy in places. Now on the plateau, and we've got a pretty easy 1.5 kilometres till we get to the steep drop-in point, and if we're very lucky, we'll get a glimpse of the patch of snow in the distance.
We're at the peak and we're about to go down to visit this patch of snow. I've got the producer Luke here, and unbeknownst to us, the last stage of this is kind of an abseil. I don't know if you can see how far down that is. I'm fine with it, but I wasn't aware of it. That's all I'm saying. Was you aware?
I don't think I quite realised it was quite this serious, no.
But you can go down first. And
Just gotta keep my body warm.
I don't know any people that could do this with equipment.
We're now about 5 hours into the journey, and as you can see, we've arrived at the Sphinx snow patch. And this location is called Braeriach, which is a Gaelic phrase for the big rough corrie. And it's pretty big and it's pretty rough. It is the most isolated corrie in the whole of the Cairngorms. This is really one of the very few pieces of snow left in the whole of the UK. Scotland only has a couple of patches left, and this is one of them. Sphinx itself is actually quite a bit smaller than it was even when I visited at the weekend. It's lost about 1/3 of its size. It's far smaller for the time of year than I would expect it to see. When it melted first of all in 1933, the Scottish Mountaineering Club wrote to the Times because it was such an unusual event. They didn't ever expect to see it melt again. This patch of snow only melted 3 times in the 20th century, remarkably. But what we're going to see this year, 2024, is going to melt for the 4th consecutive year. And that, for me, is a real indicator of what the wider climate is doing. Things are changing. From something that was deemed permanent, it's now going to be the exception that it survives. And that's an incredible turn of events.
Weather's come in again after what was actually quite a promising spell we had when we were at the snow. Time to get home.
In my life, this is visit number 37. So people ask me why I do this. It's something I've been interested in since I was 9 years old. The test of time for this research will be when people look back in 100 years and are thankful that people like me were doing this.